Hey everybody, welcome back to Brainiac Baseball's 1981 Detroit Tigers season replay. Today's matchup is between the Cleveland Indians and the Detroit Tigers at Tiger Stadium. On the mound for the Indians is Mike Paxton, whose record is 1-1 with a 6.75 ERA. And pitching for the Detroit Tigers is Bryn Smith, whose record is 0-0 with an 18 ERA. And so we have our first win in a few games. We won the first game of the three-game series against the Indians, 5-4, and it was a walk-off win in the bottom of the ninth, which was, we'll take a win any way we can get it, but it seemed a little sweeter. It shouldn't be this hard to beat a terrible Indians team. But it was a struggle, and we did get the victory. And in today's game, we're going to see Bryn Smith make his first start as a Detroit Tiger, so that should be fun. I have a lot of great, surprisingly great information on Bryn Smith. And so we'll talk more about that as we get to him. And as always, I appreciate everyone following along. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying this content. It's always more fun when we're winning, although maybe some of you appreciate the fact that I get very angry and frustrated. Despite how much I love this game, sometimes it does, take me to the edge. But I pull myself back, I drink some alcohol, and everything is nice and sunny in the morning. So here we are, and Bryn Smith, as I mentioned, on the mound today. Roger Weaver will not be available in today's game. He got the win in yesterday's game. And our lineup is going to be the same as yesterday, as Mike Paxton is a righty. So the only difference is what is up here. This is not the lineup I set up just a few minutes ago. But my point is Bobby Ramos pitched yesterday, played catcher yesterday. So we're going to get Lance Parrish back in there today. That's the lineup I set up before I came into the game today. So I don't know what happened there. But either way, that's what the lineup will be. And here is the lineup rundown for the Cleveland Indians. Looks like the same as yesterday. Batting leadoff and playing second base is Kevin Romberg. Batting second and DHing is Carl Pagel. Batting third and at shortstop is Robin Yount. Batting cleanup and at first base is Andre Thornton. Batting fifth and in right field is Gary Matthews. Batting sixth and catching is Chris Bando. Batting seventh and in left field is Joe Charbonneau. Batting eighth at third base is Mike Champion. And batting ninth in center field is Rick Manning. So here's Bryn Smith making his Tiger debut. In real life, he did make his debut in 1981. So these 1980 stats are obviously from last season's simulation. So he was a rookie in this game last year. He did pitch a game for Montreal before we traded for him and Bobby Ramos, and we jettisoned Omar Marino, Bob Stanley, and some other schlub I can't think of right now. So, tell you a little bit about Bryn Smith. He was actually a 49th round draft pick by the Cardinals in 1973 out of high school. He did not sign with them. He did go to JUCO for a year and then signed as a free agent with the Baltimore Orioles and was in their organization until 1977 when he was traded to Montreal with Rudy May. And the Orioles got back Gary Renicky, Joe Kerrigan, and Don Stanhouse in that deal. Bryn's first name is obviously a very strange name. It's actually an acronym for his grandfather, whose name was Baxter Robert Young Nisbet. So that's how he got the name Bryn. He had a couple really funny things that has happened to him. He once complained in a in a Sports Illustrated article about the playing conditions in Montreal, which included the inconvenience of having to drive to Plattsburgh, New York to buy Doritos. So I guess he didn't have Doritos back in 81 in Canada. He was actually the very first winning pitcher in Colorado Rockies history. He finished his career in the expansion year of 1993 for Colorado, and he is the oldest living Rockies player. So just a few interesting things there about Bryn. And we have him for a couple more years after this at a really cheap price. So hopefully he can be a contributor for Detroit as you take a look at our defensive lineup. So here's Kevin Romberg leading off the game for the Indians. And Romberg pops it up on the infield. And Trammell makes the play. Our defense had 4 errors. We had 4 errors in the first 4 innings yesterday, including 2 by Jason Thompson, who, of course, was the Gold Glove winner last year. He has 7 errors on the year, in which he had only 9 all of last year. Robin Yount grounds out to third, and an error by Brookins. He had one of those errors yesterday. That allows Yount to advance to second base. And Tom Brookins, as I showed you yesterday, his defensive percentage is .870. That is impossible. That is impossibly bad. I just want to show you. I mean, I want to know too, actually. Yeah, 6 errors and 18 starts. A negative 3.5 defensive range and a defensive WAR of 0.3. That's remarkable. And also puts Bryn Smith in a tough spot here with Andre Thornton up next. He hits a ground ball to Lou, and Lou throws him out. So no big deal on that Brookins error, and we go to the bottom of the first. Here is a lineup for the Tigers today. Batting leadoff and playing center field is Ricky Henderson. Batting second at shortstop is Alan Trammell. Batting third at DH is Kirk Gibson. Batting cleanup at first base is Jason Thompson. Batting fifth in left field is Steve Kemp. Batting sixth in right field is Gary Hancock. Batting seventh and catching is Lance Parrish. Batting eighth at second base is Sweet Lou Whitaker. And batting ninth at third base is Tommy Brookins. On the mound for the Indians is Mike Paxton. Started his career in Boston in 1977 and went 10-5 his rookie year with an ERA under 4. It's pretty solid. And then he was traded to the Indians, and looks like the last 2 years he's either been injured or maybe a 4th or 5th starter. Yeah, he missed 4 weeks in 80 with a wrist fracture. And it looks like he re-signed with the Indians on a 1-year deal. So let's see if we can't put a licking on Mike Paxton. As Ricky Henderson leads off in a horrible slump as he hits a ground ball to second base. It's going to bring up Trammell. Trammell was 2 for 2 with 2 walks and a hit by pitch yesterday and was the player of the game. And there you go, base hit to right. Trammell on first. And speaking of player of the game, Spencer Turnbull of my Detroit Tigers threw a no-hitter last night. It's crazy. One of the most unlikely pitchers. As Gibby, also slumping, hits a ground ball to first. They go to second to get Tram, and that is the only out. They did not turn 2, and it's 2 down. Gibson at first. Going to give JT a chance to swing away. And a base hit up the middle. So Thompson slowly bringing his batting average up. He's up to 223 now. First and second for Kemp. And Kemp will hit a deep fly ball to center field, falling short of the warning track. And that is the end of the first inning. So we go to the second. No score. Here's Gary Matthews leading off. Matthews hits a ground ball to first, and Thompson makes the play, 1 down. Next up is Chris Bando, batting .313 overall, .345 versus righties. And he grounds out to JT at first. So 2 down for Super Joe. Charbonneau, ground ball to Whitaker. And that's a 1-2-3 inning. We go to the bottom of the second, and here is Gary Hancock. Had a couple big hits in yesterday's game. And there he goes, shooting it into left center field gap. Maybe he is turning it around as he doubles. So Hancock in scoring position for Lance. We're going to have him hit to the right side. Just put it in play. Instead, he hits it right back to Paxton. Oh! I thought for sure he was going to go to third. But instead, they get the out at first, and they pull the infield in. So we just want Sweet Lou here to pound it to the outfield somehow, or just take a third strike looking. So 2 down, and it's time for Tommy here. Batting .304 versus righties. And there we go. There's a hit into center field. He's got himself a double and an RBI, and it's 1-0 Detroit. So Brookins trying to atone for his shitty defense. Back to the top of the lineup with Henderson, who's just choking on a bone. Pops it up to the catcher, and that is going to be the end. We do have the lead, 1-0. Here in the top of the third, Mike Champion leading off. Ground ball to short. Trammell throws him out, 1 down. Next up is Rick Manning, number 9 hitter. And, of course, he gets the base hit into center field. So there goes the no-hitter for this game. So runner on first, 1 down. Manning has pretty good speed. Parrish has got his caught stealing percentage up to 30. Well, I guess now it's under 30, as Manning does steal second base. And then Bryn Smith follows that up by walking Romberg. So a lot of speed on the base pass. And Carl Pagel, who leads the team with 10 home runs. I'd like to turn a double play here. Nope. That ball was a 71 mile per hour palm ball. And we're going to erase that from his arsenal. And Pagel gets a base up the middle. Scores tied for Robin Yount, who had a home run yesterday. In fact, it was back-to-back Yount and Thornton. And Yount gets a base hit up the middle. And it's 2-1. So, Bryn Smith was off to a good start, but that's 3 hits, or I'm sorry. Yeah, 3 of the last 4 batters have singled. Throw a walk in there. And it's a base hit for Thornton. So, I mean, this is the moguling. Absolutely nothing you can do about it. So we may as well just let him keep pitching it. There we go, another hit to left. And Chris Bando, he walks. Joe Charbonneau strikes out. Mike Champion pops it up. So, yeah, I mean, there's really nothing you can do until the game gets it out of its system. So, 5 straight batters reach first. And we go to the bottom of the third, down by 3. This happened yesterday, though, as Trammell gets another hit. Holy shit. Do we want to go for 2? No. This happened yesterday. We were down 4-1, and we did come back and tie it, eventually walking it off. We're going to hit and run. I feel like Gibson's contact was higher earlier in the season. I don't know why it's... I mean, even JT is down below 80. That is not normal, but... Okay, so Gibby could not get the job done. We're going to try to get Trammell to steal, and he does successfully steal second base. That is his 13th stolen base. So runner on second for JT. Thompson hits a ground ball right to short. Trammell holds. So we are not capable of moving the runner or taking the bat off our shoulders. So Trammell is the only player we have right now that's capable of doing anything. Another walk, excuse me, by Bryn Smith as I'm all choked up. Okay. Had some water there for me. So runner on first. Bryn Smith up to 72 pitches already. And another hit. Okay, so, I mean, we may as well let him pitch to Pagel, and then we'll yank his ass out of there. This is a terrible debut. Infield hit. Okay. So, that's why we have Jerry Uger as our long reliever. It comes in a impossible situation, bases loaded, and facing Hall of Famer Robin Yount. We're going to play the infield back, try to turn 2 if we can. Oh, he hits it right into the dirt, and what? It scored a run, and the only out was to third? I've never seen, I can't recall ever seeing that before, that specific play. But that run is tagged on to Bryn Smith's terrible performance. Uger comes through big, though, by fielding that ground ball and turning 2 with it. So we limit the damage to just 1 that inning. It's 5-1. And Mike Paxton is pitching a gem as he gives up a hit to Gary Hancock, who's 2 for 2 today himself. We're going to let Parrish swing away. I mean, he's only batting 186 versus righties. But we dropped him down in the lineup. Hey, there's a ground ball to short and an easy double play. And Whitaker will fly out to right. So, yeah, even when we get the lead runner on, I mean, we're not capable of stringing 2 things together. Matthews hits a line drive to second here to start off the 5th. And then Bando rips it into center field off the wall. He's got himself a double. So runner on second for Charbonneau, and he follows that up by doing the exact same thing. Stretching it into a triple, and it's 6-1. Okay, so we'll play the infield in just for shits and giggles. Champion's going to pop it up to second. That's 2 down. It's going to leave it up to Manning to get that runner in from third. Ground ball to Whitaker. All right, so we get out of that one and we go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 6-1, and we are not the kind of team to come back from being 5 runs down. As Brookins flies out to left center field. Henderson lines out to center. Trammell's ground ball to second. So we go to the top of the 6th. Let's pull up the in-game stats. I guess right now would probably go to Trammell. Player of the game thus far, 2 for 3. You had that double in there, I believe, and the stolen base. Hancock may be in the running. Kevin Romberg leading off the inning, hitting it right back to Uger. Uger tosses him out, 1 down. Lefty Carl Pagel walks. So runner on first for Robin Yount. Nice pitch there by Uger. As Yount hits a ground ball to short, but they could only get the runner at second base. That was a solid curveball. So 2 down. And then he walks Andre Thornton. So first and second for Gary Matthews, who hits a fly ball to center, caught by Henderson. And hey, what do you know? We kept him off the board. And Gibby leading off the 6th, striking out on a pitch that was so far outside. Even I saw that one coming. Hey, JT pulling it into right field down the line, and he has himself a double. So yeah, we have like every other hitter seems to be doing something. So 1 down, Steve Kemp up, and Kemp's going to hit a fly ball. I mean, Mike Paxton, I mean, he's made 2 starts this season, and he would be the ace on our team. Ground ball by Hancock, base hit. He's 3 for 3. Thompson could not score. So first and third for Parrish. And Parrish gets a base hit into center field. Thompson scores, Hancock takes third, and it's 6-2. So we're 1 long ball away from making this interesting. Whitaker hits a ground ball to second. Oh, it's an infield single. Wow, that did not look like an infield single, but we'll take it. RBI single for Whitaker. And now Tom Brookins has a chance here to make up for his horrible, horrible career. And yeah, that's what you expected. So we go to the top of the 7th, wasting another opportunity. And, I mean, we may as well leave Uger in there. He's only at 39 pitches. Chris Bando hits a ground ball to second. There's 1 out. Next up is Super Joe. Hey, there's a strikeout for Uger, his first. So 2 down for Mike Champion, and he pops it up on the infield. Trammell should make the play. He does, and we go to the bottom of the 7th. Ricky Henderson, I mean, we just worth a look. I mean, his average is down to 250. I mean, he's had 1 hit, 2, 3. I mean, like he was on a real streak there, wasn't he? Before he fell into this pit. So I guess he's just returning to the means. Yeah, another ground ball. Mike Paxton's got no walks so far. Trammell's out. Gibson. I mean, we don't ever seem to get any clutch hits, but we can. We take a gamble, and Gibson gets himself a double. We never get any clutch hits when we need it, but when there's 2 outs. Oh, okay. Well, I take it back as Thompson hits a 2-run shot into left field, and we're only down by 1 run right now. And that will do it for Paxton as he gets pulled with the lead. They're going to bring in Tom Waddle, who took the loss yesterday. You can see right here. His ERA is just ballooning. Giving up 9 runs in 5.2 innings. And actually, I think it was James that pointed this out, that on the Facebook Baseball Mogul group page, that he gave up 20 home runs in 39 innings pitched last year as a rookie. That's hard to do. But I like our odds. Kemp Hits a ground ball to second, and that will do it for the Tigers. But we've put up 2 runs in back-to-back innings. And we've cut the lead to just 1. Jerry Uger humming along, really, giving up 1 run in 4 innings. Strikes out Manning on a high pitch, but we'll take it. That's the second K for Uger. Oh, then he comes back and walks the fastest guy on the team. So Romberg on first. He does have 13 stolen bases so far. And that's going to bring up the lefty, Pagel. We're going to bring in a lefty at this point. Try to keep ourselves in this game. We're not going to bring in Comstock, which is who I normally would bring in. We're going to bring in Underwood. Comstock seems to walk the first batter that he faces every time. Pagel batting 178 versus lefties. 0 for 5 against Underwood. And Pagel flies out to center field. So there's 2 down. He does his job, Underwood does. We're going to bring in Tobic, the only righty we got left. And Tobic on a good stretch right now. Got his ERA under 7. And a pass ball moves Romberg into scoring position. So Parrish making another blunder behind the plate. And then Tobic comes through, strikes out Yount, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. Gary Hancock will lead off. He's 4 for 6 with one of those long balls. And Hancock hits a ground ball to short. There's 1 down. Parrish, he's got a home run against Waddell. I'd be more surprised if someone didn't have a home run. Waddell gets his revenge, striking out Parrish. So there is 2 down for Sweet Lou. Lou does not have a home run. He does walk, however. And, man, I mean, like, why would I want Brookins to bat here? I mean, he is 1 for 3. He's got an RBI. It's probably too risky to have Whitaker steal. So we're just going to let Brookins swing away. It's 2 outs. Ground ball to second base, and that'll end the inning. All right, we go to the top of the 9th. Andre Thornton. We're going to keep Tobic in the game. Thornton hits a ground ball to short. There's 1 down. Gary Matthews, 1 for 4 with an RBI today. He strikes out. 2 Ks for Tobic. Tobic looking sharp right now. Chris Bando up next. Ground ball right to Brookins. He makes the play. Wow. I was holding my breath. You just never know. Okay, so we've got Ricky. I almost want to bunt with Ricky. But he was not a bunter. I mean, he just did not have that kind of speed. We mentioned before that he only had 66 career triples. I mean, it just wasn't something he did. Oh, there we go. Base hit. No, we are not going to do that. But we are going to hit and run with Trammell. Ground ball to third. Henderson takes second base. He is in scoring position. And we're counting on Gibby now with 1 down to be clutch. Let's tie this game up. Oh, no, that's the wrong player. Henderson has to hold. And they're going to bring in their closer, which is Victor Cruz. This is the first time we're seeing him. This is his 17th game this year. And he's 0-2 with a 4.12 ERA. A lot of walks. Opponents are only batting .216 against him, though. He's got a couple wild pitches, and he does have 7 out of 8 for saves. He was a part-time closer last year, too. I think he got injured. At any rate, this is what it comes down to. JT, we like JT in the situation, batting .295. He does have a home run against Cruz. Let's walk it off. Oh, come on. Gosh darn it. That sucks. I mean, what can you do? We let our bad starting pitching get to us that game. We take the loss 6-5. Okay, so here is a trade offer from the Astros for Larry Pashnik, who would be a future starting pitcher for us, no doubt about it. But they're offering us Mickey Hatcher, who, I mean, they have him listed as a third baseman, but I mean, he was basically an outfielder, pinch hitter, occasional DH. Wow, his contact is great. But he strikes out a lot. His ratio is not great. Okay, well, I mean, I like that, actually. I mean, we could put him at third. I mean, how much worse could he be, right? So, okay, I'm on board so far. Then there's Jeffrey Leonard, who at this point of his career doesn't look all that special. He would be playing right field. That would be his only option. And he could platoon with Hancock out there, right? So, and that's a possibility. And he does hit well. So he actually goes to arbitration. That's a problem. And we would have Mickey Hatcher for one more year. Whereas the Astros would have Pashnik for like 3 more years after this. Okay, let's talk. Let's talk. We got Mila Kunis down here making the deal. And let's see, can we get some cash back in this deal? It's already evenly balanced. Can we talk them into throwing in a schlub, like a reliever, that maybe we can stash at AAA? Oh, man, they got a lot of catchers, don't they? Catchers. Okay, so here's the Astros starting pitchers. Nobody we want that we can afford. So this is why the Astros are probably getting rid of some of their players, because they have 4-year deals for crazy dough for J.R. Richard and Nolan Ryan, which, of course, would be totally worth it. Let's see here. They have Ken Forsch in AAA, but we're not going to pay that. Tom Spencer sucks. What about like Ricardo Aponte? He's got crappy numbers, but he's kind of a toss-in. Let's look at it. Let's scout him. Yeah, career minor leaguer. He's in AA. Wow, way more walks than strikeouts. It sounds like our kind of guy. He is technically closing. Let's see if they'll just toss him in for the fun of it. Okay, yeah, evenly balanced. We'll take it. All right, let's do the deal. We're going to do this. Submit offer. This is not the kind of deal we need to do, though. I mean, we need to already deal with players that are potentially going to leave us in the first place. But maybe we're building our bench. Okay, so let's take a look at the standings here. Gosh, we're just terrible. Only a half game ahead of the Indians, and they are not good. And yet, their batting average is better than us. Their ERA is better. So who are we? As we have. Yeah, I mean, we're not good. Okay, so transactions. Were there any other trades? There were other trades. Holy cow, there's a ton of trades today. All right, let's figure this all out. So Boston is trading their number 5 starter. Keeping in mind, Boston's in first place. So they're trading Chuck Rainey to Minnesota. Oh, these are all out of order. To Minnesota for Gary Alexander, their starting catcher. And they already got Dave Rader. And they have, who's that guy that just cleaned our clock? I can't think of his name right now. Gary Allenson. And then they're going to get Andres Galarraga, who will probably just be on their AAA. So they're down here. In fact, Galarraga goes to single A. So that's a great trade for Boston. As Minnesota gets I'm sure he'll be a starting pitcher, right? Yep, there we go. After only making one start and pitching a pretty good, one walk, no strikeouts in 9 innings. Complete game, and then they trade him. Anyway, okay, so let's try to figure this out. So Bert Roberge of Houston is traded to the White Sox for backup catcher Ricky Seilheimer. And he's on the Astros single A. And then Bert Roberge goes right into the White Sox bullpen. And he was their closer on the Astros. So looking pretty good too. Okay, and then what's the other trade here? Yankees and Texas. So Texas is trading Danny Darwin, who has not played this year, only pitched in 3 games. So he was expendable anyway, and actually he's going to be right on their AAA team. So not getting any use out of him. But look at the money. New York's sending $685,000 to Texas. By the way, Chicago sent $725,000 to Houston. So sweetening the pot. Bob Guerin, single A. So that's minor leaguers and some cash. And then there's our trade, which Larry Pashnick will go to AAA in Houston there. So, and then there's an injury for Mike Bassick, whose son gave up Barry Bonds' 715th home run. For those who may or may not remember that. Let's pull up the box score and get out of here. Sorry that ending took a little bit longer there because of all the crazy stuff that happened. Thanks again for watching, everybody. Like and or subscribe. And who's the player of the game? Wow. I would have said hands down Trammell at first, but Gary Hancock went 3 for 4. Jason Thompson hit that home run, though, right? That's who we're going to give it to, is JT. So he extends his player of the game lead as he gets his 7th. He also had a double. We had 5 extra base hits and still came up short. Brookins had that error at third. Bryn Smith, terrible first impression. Going only 3, giving up 7. Jerry Uger comes in relief, goes 4. And a third. Underwood and Tobic were flawless. In the pen, Paxton gets a second win, 2-1. Victor Cruz, not the salsa dancer, New York Giants wide receiver. This guy here gets his 8th save. So that's going to be it. We will see you tomorrow for Game 3 of this 3-game series. And then I have a feeling we're going to have some serious decisions to make. So until then, everyone have a great night.